Today, the city of Alcoa cut the ribbon on Tesla Boulevard, which will one day be a large new development in the city. The new road is at the former site of the Aluminum Company of America West plant. The opening marks the end of the 16 months long project that included road construction, installing utilities, and landscaping. It's all prep work for an urban development that would include a mix of commercial, office, and residential units. The development will be called Springbrook Farm.
Our idea is a farm-to-table suburb that will there'll be a 15-acre farm in the middle of the project, which will provide both food and cut flowers for residents as well as the farmers market.
The street is named after Nikola Tesla, known for creating the modern alternating current. It opens to the public tomorrow.